Hi everybody, it's Laura from Gardening in Dairyland. I'm going to give you a quick little tour of the garden. It's been really hot here, so everything's looking a little stressed, but it's not too bad, and there's a lot of new stuff, so I would like you to see it. So first of all, look at how much my kiwi plant here is growing up its trellis. It just shot up this nice long piece here, so it's doing really well. I still have a grape plant here that did not sprout yet. I'm hoping it will. After seeing how long one of my peach trees took to sprout out, I still have hope for this guy. And when I scratch under him, he is still green, so I'm guessing he just needs to get his roots established a little better, and then he will sprout some leaves for me. This grape has grown tremendously. It's doing really well. It's more than halfway up the trellis. So I'm really happy about that one. This one is, I think this is my white grape. Yep, the Lakemont. And down here is my Concord seedless. It hasn't taken off quite as much, but it's starting to, and it's starting to climb. So that's good. He's about a third of the way up the trellis maybe. Over here, my blackberries are starting to really shoot up. So I just have 4 here. I'm trying to find a variety that will work good in my area. The sun is starting to make some pretty good shadows here. So that's my fruit area. We go around the grape trellis area here. You see the raspberries are pretty well done. They're starting to turn brown. We're going to go through and cut those down as well as all these weeds that have gotten so big. Look at the tomatoes, everybody. They are taller than the T-post. They're just going nuts. We've been getting ripe tomatoes off of most of these. Like there's some in here too. These are the Independence Day that were ripe so early. And this hundreds and thousands tomato is literally giving me hundreds and thousands of tomatoes. Look at all the blossoms and little fruits on this thing. It's just crazy. I don't know how big they'll get. My cousin gave me this plant, so I'm not sure what size tomatoes they are. I'm guessing a small one, but there will be a ton of them. The blueberries are just about over. The kids have been picking them on the early side, so most of them haven't been super good. They've been pretty sour, but they're enjoying them. Now I wanted to show you something here in this Mariana pepper row, or not Mariana tomato row. So I had gotten this batch of seeds from Seeds and Such, and then I had also gotten some seeds from Young Seed Company here in Wisconsin. My grandma always grew these, but she used the Young seed, so I was gonna do a comparison between the two companies. But look at this. This one plant is so much bigger than all the rest. This is one that would have come from Seeds and Such, I believe, and it's definitely not a determinate, and it doesn't seem to have quite the same characteristics. So look at on this Mariana, how many tomatoes it sets at a time, like 10 on one little cluster. And this one over here, it has some, but it's only like 5 or so. But they do seem to be the right shape. It looks like a paste tomato, so I'm not sure what this one is exactly. It might be a sport of Mariana, like just a genetic variability, or it might be a mixed up seed. We'll see what happens when they ripen, I guess. And then these are the ones from Young's. The sun is getting pretty bad. I don't know if this video is going to turn out, but we'll see. But the peppers are doing really well. I am having a lot of problems with sun scald. You can see this pepper got it really bad. The rest of the pepper seems okay. I will probably end up picking this off. It's just been so intensely sunny here. They don't have much of a chance, but look at all the peppers on this one plant. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least on this one plant. It's amazing. A lot of them are starting to turn color. These are supposed to be red peppers, so they're orange, which is the first step before red. And that one there is just about ready. I can't wait. I love these peppers. Those are my grandma's variety of peppers. The dahlias are blooming pretty nice. I don't know if you can tell, but my pumpkins and squash have pretty much taken over their section of the garden over here. I'll just walk over there. We got zucchini coming out of our ears already, just about. There is a huge one in there that I missed, and there's so many more. I've got to come up with some more zucchini ideas because they are just crazy. Look at all the yellow ones in here. The bitter melons are spreading. I haven't seen any fruit on them yet, but they're really interesting. They have a really different look to their leaves. More wild and tropical, I think. But the pumpkins are just going crazy. They have taken over this whole area. They're starting to get into the watermelons. So I'm trying to steer them away. The pickling cucumbers are being very prolific. We're having a hard time catching them in time. There's one that got too big. I'm going to try to hop over them here and show you. Look at how big some of these pumpkin leaves are. Like, here's my hand on this leaf, and it goes all the way over to there and all the way over to there. It's probably a good 2 feet. This is the autumn harvest blend from Pine Tree Garden Seeds. So I don't know what variety all these pumpkins and squash are, but they're all large seeds, so they're going to be pretty large pumpkins, I'm guessing. Over here is all my melons, and I think the pumpkins have pretty much smothered them. I've been trying to keep them going and keep them free. Here's one melon plant here. I'm trying to steer the pumpkins around and steer these guys to come straight out. So hopefully we can find some of the melons. I don't really want them to get covered up too much. I've seen some little melons on here. Let's see if we can find any. Like, here's a little baby melon that's going to start. I really wanted to get some of these melons. So I'm trying to encourage the pumpkins to go the other way. Encourage these guys to come straight out to hopefully be able to get some of the melons. So yeah, I hand pollinated some of these so that I could save seed if it was an interesting variety. I know there's a big pumpkin in here somewhere. Oh, there he is. So this is one here that I hand pollinated, and it's getting quite large. It's one of those flatter pumpkins. I think it's a Cinderella type. That was one of the varieties that was in that mix that I planted, so it's very possibly that one. The melons and cucumbers on the trellis are starting to climb up pretty good. We're getting a few of the cucumbers already. Like, here's one right here. That's a muncher variety. Then over here is the quick snack. These are a more bush one, so I don't know how much taller they will get. And they have quite spiny little cucumbers, but they taste really good. They're a good snacking one. My potato patch is very weedy, but the potatoes are dying down. So I'm just going to be digging these in the next week or so. So I'm just going to take the weeds out at the same time. I do go through, and if something's going to seed, like this guy here, I'll pull him out because I don't want anything going to seed in my row. But other than that, the rest of it will just get dealt with when I dig the potatoes. I didn't have time, and it really doesn't pay to pull them now because you'll expose all the potatoes anyways. Over here, the cabbages are just about ready for harvest. They're getting nice and firm. I think this guy is ready. Yep. And this one. Yep. There's a couple that aren't. Like this guy here, he's still pretty soft. He's starting to get firm. So they'll be coming out soon. My putting carrots for seeds did not work very well this year. None of these created seeds. I did have a couple that did. So I'm not sure if it's because it was just too early. When I planted these, there wasn't the pollinators out, because these are not pollinated by bees that I've seen. They're a little black wasp that pollinates them. But this one created a lot of seeds. You can see them there. See all those little green fuzzy seeds. That is what carrot seeds look like. So I'm hoping these are pollinated correctly and I can save those seeds, but I'm not sure. And kittens love to play with them. This cabbage, I am not sure what happened. I don't know if something ate it off all the tops, but it is a wild and crazy looking cabbage, that's for sure. My 6-year-old and I weeded these onions just about a week ago, and the weeds have already sprung back, but they're doing really well. The broccolis and cauliflowers are just about done. They're going to come out in about a week also, because I'm going to swap the rows. So where the potatoes were is where my fall broccolis and cauliflowers and cabbages are going to go, and then the potatoes are going to go where the cabbages and cauliflowers and broccolis were. It worked out really good for me to do that last year, and I plan to do that again. Over here, the beans are just about ripe. I picked a yellow one yesterday because there's some yellow ones in here. They do have some weeds that I need to pull also. I'm just waiting for it to be under 90 degrees to do that. The pumpkin, or not the pumpkins, the peanuts are very happy. Lots of blossoms. I'm still kind of watching to see if they go down into the ground. It looks like they are, but they look so dead. So I'm not sure if that's how it does it. Do they really like wilt down and die like that before they go into the ground? Seems a little odd to me, but I've never grown peanuts before, so I'm not sure. I'm just watching them. It's kind of an experiment. All my radishes went to seed here. I'm leaving them so the pollinators have something, but there are carrots in here. They're not really competing with the carrots too much, so I'm leaving them. But here you can see some radish seed pods. Right here, there's a little green things like that. Inside will be 2 to 3, 4, maybe 5 seeds. You got to wait till they get brown, and then you can open them. Okay, so I'm just about done here. The celery is doing really well. These are beets over here. They're about ready to pull. I'll mostly make them into pickled beets, but they're probably not the best tasting right now, but look at how big they're getting. They're really big. I really need to get these pulled and done something with. And then here I have some more flowers. We worked on weeding. See, we got some of it weeded here, but through here is pretty bad yet. And then over here is the celery. This giant red is doing the best of all the celery varieties I planted this year. They're really tall. They don't seem to mind the heat as much. These tangles weren't doing so well. They really wilted bad during the heat. So I gave them some more water and some more compost to try to hold the moisture in. But you can see their leaves got all so wilted that they kind of dried out and got sunburned. So that wasn't real good. I didn't think that would happen because they get shade most of the day, because there's a tree there and trees here. So they don't get a ton of sun, but they get full day noon sun. That's probably why they sunburn so bad. My okras were doing the same thing. They were not liking the heat. And look, I got an okra pod. I'm not sure if it's ready to harvest yet. I've never grown it before. I'm going to have to ask my cousin. She grows it every year. So yeah, but it's such a small plant. I was really expecting to get bigger. I don't think it likes its location. I think they do need more sun than what they're getting. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of my garden. A lot of stuff has changed, and it's going to change even more in the next week or so. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.